Hey guys, Raymond here with Driveway Fixes, and today we're going to be taking a look at replacing the puddle lights on your vehicle. And you can find the puddle lights on the driver or passenger door side mirror, and you just look right underneath and you'll find the puddle lights. There might be a couple of reasons why you want to replace your puddle lights. Now, number one, if the puddle lights are not working anymore, if there's no light emitting when you open the driver door or the passenger door and you don't see the light on the ground near your feet. Now, the other reason is why I'm replacing these lights today. And that's just for cosmetic purposes and replacing the bulb with a brighter LED light. And the lights come in different temperatures. So online, when you're looking for the light, you'll see numbers like 5,300, 6,500. Sometimes you'll find 6,000. And those just specify the color of the bulb and the light emitting. So this is an example of a yellowish light, which is kind of an older look to lights, and the modern lights are more whitish. So this is a yellowish light. This would probably be an example of a 5,300 Kelvin light. Now, the more modern lights are typically 6,000 or 6,500. So the higher the number, the whiter the light. And they typically go up to about 6,500 for most car purposes. So we're going to take a look at this today on how to change the puddle lights on your vehicle. So these are all the things that you'll need to successfully change the puddle lights on your vehicle. First off, we need to determine what puddle light you're going to buy. Now, this is an aftermarket puddle light that I picked up on Amazon. I will leave the link in the description of this video if you want to check it out. Also over here, you're going to need a multimeter to determine which wire is positive and negative. And you're going to want some sort of clear, flexible, all-purpose waterproof sealant. So silicone will work. And then you're going to want a flathead screwdriver. The first step in removing the puddle lights is to pop loose the little tabs that hold the light into the mirror assembly. And normally, if you look right up here, you'll see like a little indentation on this side. And then you'll also see a tab on this side. So first off, you want to stick your screwdriver in. And since we're not reusing these, it's okay if they crack a little bit. And there's silicone holding these in and to make them waterproof. So that's the first part, which is the cap to the light. And now, we're prying out the light itself. All right, so the majority of the light's out, and we just need to grab these couple pieces and pull it out. All right, so this circuit, this is the positive and negative ones. We have to determine which one is which with the multimeter. This circuit that turns the light on doesn't have power if the door's closed. It only activates when the door is opened. So for the most part, you still want to be safe and not touch the positive and negative. So we're going to pull these little remaining pieces of the light off. And it's very handy if you use the screwdriver to pop it loose. So that's one tab off. And this is the remaining piece to the light. That can go away. And this is the second tab. All right, so both sides are removed, positive and negative. And we need to go grab the multimeter to find out which side is positive and which side is negative so we can connect it to the red and black wires on the new light. The first step in testing these wires for positive and negative is to open one of the doors to allow the power to come to the puddle light wires so we can test them. So I opened the driver's side door, and here's the multimeter. I'll go ahead and focus in on it. If you focus in on it, you notice that the red indicator is on the far left-hand side, and that's an example of no power going through the multimeter. Now, as we connect it, we're going to look for it to go to the right. We're going to take the red probe, this one right here, and we're going to put it on one of the wires and the black probe on the other. If we don't have any readings on this scale, then we'll go back and switch the wires. So first off, let's connect the red one. So just pick a random wire. Slide it in the little connector. All right, so it's holding itself. And then we're going to slide the other one in the black one. Okay. Taking another look at the multimeter here, we're going to see that the indicator has moved. And in this circumstance, we don't need to read all the numbers and try to find out the amount of milliamps that are coming out of the wires. We just need to find out which one's positive and negative. So we found the positive and negative. So what you want to do is mark the wire that has the positive probe, which is this one right here. You can mark it. And then you want to mark the one with the negative probe. When working with electricity, you always want to be safe than sorry. So you want to go ahead and close the door that you had opened previously to ensure that there's no power coming to these wires. If you want to be extra precautious, you could definitely connect the car battery. It's just that the amount of amps on these wires is very low, so there's not a great risk there, but do whatever you feel comfortable with and always err on the side of caution. So now we have the light itself, and we're going to take the red wire, which is the positive one, and connect it to whichever wire the positive probe was in. So we're going to go ahead and slide it in. Alrighty, it's fully connected. And we'll take the negative one and do the exact same thing. And before we reassemble it and attach the silicone, we're just going to go ahead and open the door just to make sure that we're having a complete circuit and there's electricity running to this new light. Well, we have plenty of electricity running to the light, and it's very bright, much brighter than the OEM one, the one that was installed with the vehicle. So now we just need to seal this upper edge on the light and then put it back in the housing. Right before I put the silicone on, I noticed that there was a lot of kind of mud and dirt in the area where the silicone would go. So I decided to go ahead and get some alcohol and put it on a towel and wipe the area down, just so we make sure we have a secure and sufficient hold around the edge so that nothing leaks, because you don't want any water to get in and get to the wires. So now it's clean, so we can go ahead and put on the silicone. So quick note, if you get the silicone bottle and it has the cap on, and it hasn't been opened before, you're just going to go ahead and pop the cap off. And there's a little area you want to cut it as high up to the top as possible, because you don't want a ton of silicone to come out. That's just a quick tip. So now that we have this already cut, I'm going to go ahead and spread this silicone around. And we're just going to start here. And one continuous bead if possible. That's the first side. And we'll come here and go around the other direction. Now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead and place the light back in the housing, ensuring that the wires don't get covered in the silicone. And that's it. Now we just need to test it out to make sure it works once it's in the housing. Well, guys, I'd have to say that these new Puddle lights are absolutely worth the 10 to 15 minute installation. If you are tired of your yellowish Puddle lights and barely being able to see around your driver or passenger side doors, this is the solution. It's very simple. It requires basic tools and barely any mechanical knowledge. Just follow the video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer them there, as well as like, comment, and please subscribe to the channel so that you can stay up to date on all the new content that I post on a weekly basis. Don't forget to share the video with your friends and family. Until next time, stay safe and keep on fixing.